In today's video, I can't wait to show you how I made this super cute Canada Day inspired wreath. I'll show you all the steps and all the materials so you can make one just like it for your front door. Grab all your stuff and let's get crafty.
This is Mary. Welcome to the IHC craft room. For materials, we'll begin with a 14-inch wire wreath ring. I picked this up at the Dollar Tree, along with some decomesh in red and white, followed by 3.5-inch wired ribbon in red velvet and black and white plaid. And the fact that it is wired is very importante. We'll get back to that later. A Canada Day themed sign that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, small and medium ball ornaments in red and silver, some pipe cleaners in white and red, and some Canada Day embellishments, these cute little headbands. For tools, we're going to need a hot glue gun, of course, a cutting mat or a ruler, a pair of scissors, and some rubber gloves. Let's get started by getting the base of our wreath ready. This is by far the part that will take the longest and is the most tedious. I mean, unless you're me, because I actually enjoy doing this. Obviously, I've already done all the grunt work of making our decomesh bundles at this point. So let's talk about how I got here. It's time for some decomesh math. Heyo! We've got ourselves a 14-inch wire wreath base, which has 6 sections in it, and we're going to create decomesh bundles that have 5 pieces of decomesh in each, and then add 6 of those bundles per section. So in total, we're going to need 36 bundles of decomesh. So what exactly is a decomesh bundle? I'm so very glad you asked. A decomesh bundle consists of 5 pieces of decomesh cut into approximately 6-inch pieces. Each piece is rolled into a little decomesh burrito, and using a clothespin, I'll clip them together and put them aside as I move on to the next piece of decomesh. Roll that one up and add it to the bundle. I want a shot of red in each bundle, so I'm using 4 pieces of white decomesh and 1 piece of red. Now remember, we need 36 bundles. I'm not going to hurt my brain doing the math of how many individual 6-inch pieces of decomesh we need. It's a lot, okay? Let me show you the method I use to cut a bunch of 6-inch pieces quick as a bunny. We'll start by trying to find something that is about 6 inches wide and fairly rigid. I'm using my cutting mat, which is just about the perfect size for this. Now I'm going to wrap that decomesh around the cutting mat over and over until I'm about halfway through the roll, and then I'll cut it free. Then holding firmly to the decomesh, I'm going to cut through the entire side. Then flip it over, and continuing to hold the decomesh firmly, I'll cut the other side too. Super fast, right? Okay, now let's get back to making our bundles. Like I said, I want 4 pieces of white and 1 piece of red in each bundle. Once we have that ready, I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and wrap it around the bundle, give it a few good twists, and voila, un petit bundle de decomesh. Oui, oui. Okay, now that we know how to cut the decomesh and make our bundles, it's time to get her done. And in true Hogwarts style, lickety-split, I made 36 decomesh bundles. Look at me, I'm the Italian Flash. All right, we're now pretty much right back where we started. It's time to start attaching our decomesh bundles to the base wreath. Remember, we want 6 bundles per section, which is pretty easy when the wreath base is empty. But it won't take long to fill this in and start struggling to add the last few bundles to the final section. That's actually the time when I'm really grateful to be wearing rubber gloves, because decomesh is pretty to look at, but I find it super harsh on my hands. What can I say? My big man hands are also delicate little flowers. Now that our base wreath is done, it's time to work on all the little things we're going to add to it. First up is this Canada Day sign. I'm going to separate him from his 2 amigos and get rid of that string. At this point, I'm not sure where I'm going to position this sign, so I'm just kind of trying things out to see what I like best. Then I'll lay down a couple of little puddles of hot glue to embed the pipe cleaners in. We want to make sure our pipe cleaners don't go anywhere, so make sure they're really well covered in glue. I like to use a toothpick or something to shove the pipe cleaner deep into the glue puddle so that it doesn't pop out and separate from the sign. While we wait for the glue to dry on our sign, let's move on to ribbon. Instead of adding a bow to this wreath, I'm going to be using ribbon accents, and to do that, I'm going to eyeball about 8 inches of ribbon and cut up a few pieces. I wasn't sure how many pieces I would need, so I cut fewer at the beginning with the intention to cut a few more if needed. I started off with 5 pieces of each color. Conserving ribbon is the name of the game, my friends. If you've seen any of my videos in the past where I work with ribbon, you'll know by now that Mary loves her a nice dovetail finish to a ribbon. So I'm going to spend some time dovetailing my ribbon here. You can absolutely skip this step or cut your ribbon at an angle. Make your dovetail as deep or as shallow as you like. It's totally up to you. But I love me a dovetail, and here we go. Next, we're gonna bundle these ribbons 2 by 2, crossing them one over the other, and then I'll bend them in half and secure them with a pipe cleaner. This will make them ready to attach to the wreath base. And that's exactly what we're gonna do next. It's time for my favorite part. We're gonna put everything together. I'm gonna start adding these ribbon bundles and our sign to the wreath and do my best to spread the ribbon bundles out evenly throughout the wreath base. At this point, I realize I could do with one more ribbon bundle. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut myself a couple more pieces of ribbon and make that happen. You may or may not have noticed that when I was making my decomesh bundles, I used white pipe cleaners. Yet for our ribbon bundles and sign, I switched to red pipe cleaners. Let me tell you, I 100% did that for this exact moment. As I continue to reposition each of these ribbon bundles and the sign 45 times, knowing which pipe cleaners applied to accents rather than the decomesh bundles is a huge win. Like, huge. It'll save you a ton of frustration. At this point, we'll begin planning out where to place our red and silver ornaments before gluing them down. I always like to plan out things like this so that I can try to make the wreath feel as balanced as possible. As I glue the ornaments down, I'll take off their tops and glue the ornaments right onto the wreath. This way, they'll stay put and won't fall off if the tops come loose later. Okay, you get the point. Glue down all the ornaments unless you want to watch them scatter when you hang your wreath. Now let's move on to the final touch. I just love these glittery Canada flags. I mean, come on, what self-respecting glitter lover wouldn't be jazzed by these little cuties? I'm just gonna go ahead and find the perfect spot for all 4 of these glitter flags, and then, do you know what time it'll be? Oh, you betcha. It's reveal time. So what do you think? I just knew this wreath would turn out cute, but it far exceeded my expectations. I can't wait to hang this on my front door. Happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians. Thank you for joining me for this red, white, and black checkered maple leaf glittery flag decomesh wreath making adventure. Can you believe I did all that talking and didn't say A once? If you enjoyed this video, please say hello in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!